Well, as you can see, what we just saw come here tonight, as you can see, we just saw that this is one of the, I think this is one of the Royal Air Force, the Grob G.115-E Grob cheer, this is. So yes, as you can see, this is one of the RAF Grob cheers, that this is one that they are based down at, that they are the only ones that they come from. They're based down at RAF, down at MOD Boscombe Down Airfield. So basically, this is where it just came from anyway. Which, as you can see, the registration, as you can see, just on here, is G.BYWD. It is. As you can see, it's got a call sign here, which is UAO53. It is. So as you can see, where it's both of them, they both came down from there. Where they are based at is based that they are based down at MOD Boscombe Down Airfield, which obviously that's where they're based at apparently, which that's where they came from, especially from yesterday anyway. Which obviously basically I've only recorded one of them yesterday, and especially the first one I've just seen, which that registration here I saw from yesterday, which G.BYWD this is. So as you can see, it looks like two of the pairs of the Grob cheers are basically doing some, what I call that, they are doing some evening training exercise tonight apparently, which basically I think they've been doing some training since possibly, I believe, this afternoon anyway, but obviously they've been doing some flying school training apparently, which I think this is probably the ones that they obviously kind of do like flying school training apparently. I think this is one of the, which is a bit similar to the Empire, which is a bit similar to test pilot school training apparently, which basically they're a bit similar anyway. But now because of this year, especially because obviously since this time last year, obviously last year they were training over at Nuke Airport. This time last year, because obviously this time last year they were training over at Nuke Airport apparently. Especially they came from all the way from MOD Boscombe Down Airfield and into and especially into North Cornwall, which obviously last year they were over at Nuke Airport last year, which that's where the Grob cheers are normally are apparently. So yeah, this is where the two just came down from apparently. Especially because they just came down from their base, which they are based down at MOD Boscombe Down Airfield, which technically is still known as the RAF, but I quite like the way without basically I saw this one anyway. This one was doing what I called that is that this was doing is it's been going and doing some flying displays apparently, which obviously is kind of a bit similar to the flying displays, which obviously there's no difference because obviously for some reason there's just no difference anyway. So yeah, obviously there's just no difference with the RAF Grob cheers, which obviously, this is the one I remember seeing from last year anyway. I think this is the one that I recorded probably last year ago, I believe anyway, two of the RAF Grob cheers anyway, which obviously they're the ones I recorded last year ago anyway, back at which I used to record it back at Springfield's Pony Centre apparently, which that's not far from Nuke Airport anyway. So yeah, obviously they're the ones that just came from they're the ones that just came from MOD Boscombe Down Airfield, which that's where they're currently based at apparently. But obviously I think it's because of that, I think they're staying over at Culdrose for about a few days I think, until they get back to their base down at MOD Boscombe Down I think. But basically I think they're staying over Culdrose, which obviously last night they stayed over Culdrose last night anyway. And now because of today, it looks like they're currently, at the moment where they are, it's because that they are currently training, apparently, that they're currently doing some what I called some flying school training, apparently. So yeah. But anyways, as you can see, the two of them are just now heading back to their spot over at RNS Culdrose, apparently. So this is where they took off from, apparently. They just took off from RNS Culdrose, but basically, because of this afternoon, they've just been in and out from Culdrose apparently, especially this afternoon. They'd just been in and out from Caldros this afternoon, and also because of that, also you saw a couple of the Merlin Mark IIs as well. Basically, that was the one we saw earlier on, which the registration was ZH840. Yeah, this one here we just seen earlier on, which that flew overhead past me earlier on about 75,000 feet, which that was the one I saw earlier on. Apparently, the Merlin HM2 from Caldros, which that was the pair I saw earlier on anyway. Anyway, so there's the other one I've just seen, but that's the other one. That's fine with it, but obviously the other one that's been going around flying over north apparently, whereas the other one we saw was the G.BYWD, which that one came here over in South Cornwall, whereas the other one that went over northwest apparently. So yeah, the G.BYWR, which obviously that's been doing some flying school training just over northwest of Cornwall apparently. As you can see, this one here did one over past near Hale, and then past Connor Downs, then passed over somewhere near Toggymere and Camborne. So passed over Camborne, and as you can see, then came here past Red Roof. So basically this was doing some flying displays just over to northwest of side, whereas the other one we just saw, that came partially over south anyway, which it was the G.BYWD, I think it was, which that was the registration. Obviously it's not that one. As you can see on the other one, it's got the call sign UAO53, whereas the other one is UAO53. So there was the other one we just seen. That one that's just been basically just flying past near my house apparently, and that's when it came. I think that's when it came here to about 4,000 feet from there anyway, and somewhere just under 4,000 feet anyway, and then just over 4,000 feet. And that's when at the time it started doing this. That's when it started doing some training anyway, just around, probably just over on Mabe's side anyway. That's where it's just been training apparently. Whereas it's just been looping around a few times as it was doing like some sort of like a flying display. I think this is where he was doing anyway. Technically just looping around a few times anyway, as it's been going around looping around a few times just over by Mayburn House. That's where it passed over there, and somewhere, as you can see, it passed over. It also currently passed over the quarry as well. So yeah, this is where he was doing his a bit like a flying display, but you know, as it was some sort of that he was doing up and down, creasing the feet apparently, which obviously he was creasing up and down the feet. It was once he was training, he was just creasing up and down the feet. It was at the time. So yeah. But anyway, speaking of that now, they're now both back at RNS Caldros apparently, right now. And same as the Merlin Mark II, as we just saw earlier on. And also we saw the Draken Europe, which obviously the early one, we saw the Draken Europe, the Falcon 20 overseeing early one, that was coming here doing some circuits at RNS Caldros earlier on apparently. Which I think, the registration on that, I think it was G-BYWD, I think it was. Let's just have a look a minute, because I don't know what stage B you're playing up to. There we go, that's where we saw earlier one. That was the G-BYWD registration with the call sign number 2. Whereas this one here, that's just been doing some circuits over RNS Caldros earlier on this afternoon. Which that was the part that I saw earlier on apparently, which is especially the Falcon 20 that I see earlier on, especially known as the Draken Europe. So yeah, one of the Draken Europe apparently. So yeah. But I've only just videoed it about 2 times anyway of the Draken Europe, which obviously that was the one I saw earlier on, apparently. So yeah, this is where I did cover this earlier on apparently, which is the Draken Europe Falcon 20. So yeah, this is the one that's based down at Bournemouth Airport apparently, which technically I think that was the one I saw last week ago anyway. Technically I think that was the one I saw last week, that he was coming here doing some circuits over Caldros last week anyway, which that was the one that came to return to do some training over Caldros last week ago apparently. So yeah, this is the one that came here to do some circuit training at Caldros last week for the return flight apparently. So yeah, this is where it came from last week anyway. So yeah. Okay, so Yep, looks like the two of the Grob cheers are now back at RMS Coldrose, and same as the Meta Mark II. But looks like I think all of them, and I think they're now going to stop training, I believe, though. Even though it looks like they're going to stop training, I believe, now. So yeah, looks like they're coming to stop the training, I believe, now. So yeah. Okay, so yep, thanks for watching. Bye bye.